Hey, welcome to Clawed Out Games. I hope everyone's having a great day today. I wanted to go over this deck that I've been working really hard on for a couple weeks now. Um, I've made a couple shorts about it here on YouTube, and I wanted to go a little bit more in depth on some of the cards I've been working on. Um, as you can see by the title and obviously the page we're looking at right now, um, it is a Game of Thrones themed commander deck. We'll go over the commander and some of the other cards here in a second, but like I said, I wanted to start off by what really inspired this. Obviously, I'm a massive fan of Game of Thrones. It's my dream. Universes Beyond. I've been making shorts about that for a really long time. Um, and I think it would go perfectly in the Magic setting. I don't know if he'll ever do it because I think George R. R. Martin is a little bit stingy with his IP, but I really think it would be. I think it would kill in MTG. Um, so we'll go over the commander right now. It's Daenerys Targaryen or Atla Palani Nest Tender. This card alone really inspired this deck, and it really made me want to make this. I found this online. I was I don't know what I was even searching for, but I love the art. Um, I love the commander. I had a deck around the commander before. I even ran into this art. Um, and I think it really goes well and is able to flow very nicely with a lot of the Game of Thrones um, cards we have in here. So, if you don't know what Atla Palani is, she is a 2/3 human shaman for one red, green, and white. And she says, pay two, tap, and create a 0/1 green egg creature token with Defender. And then the second line of text says, whenever an egg you control dies, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card on the battlefield and the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. So obviously it's pretty flavorful. You create eggs, you sack the eggs, or the eggs die, and you go grab hopefully one of her dragons. Um, so I added these tokens here. These are tokens that are going to be coming in the mail. I drew this one. That's why it looks so crappy. But the one on the left here. But I made a better looking one, I guess, off to the side just in case. Um, but yeah, this original Commander Atla Palani is based all around dinosaurs. So it's a little bit obviously off of the normal, I guess you would say, but um, she's still really sweet. There's no dinosaurs in the deck. It's all dragons, and it's all dragons skinned as uh, dragons from Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon or the Song of Ice and Fire, the books. I read all the books. They're great. I know he's probably never going to finish it, but if you ever get a chance to or are thinking about doing it, please read it. They're so good. This is the commander. Naya colors, Naya dragons. It's pretty neat. Let's go on. So here are a few of the dragons. I think there's a total of like 19 dragons in the deck. These are her three dragons, Daenerys's, that she hatched. It's Drogon, Viserion, and Rhaegal. And they're skinned as Old Gnawbone, Dragonlord Jamoka, and Clouth. Um, these cards are just really sweet. When I was looking for, I guess, the real MTG cards to match with this, I was looking for a green dragon, a white or yellow dragon, and then a red dragon, and I thought these were perfect. I wanted these three to be legendary as well, just because they are legendary in the show. which I wanted to for all the dragons, but they didn't end up all being legendary. There's a lot of sweet dragons that I wanted to play that are not legendary, but um, these three are awesome cards. I found this artist too, and I thought he was great. It's his name is Christopher Burdett, um, and he actually made these artwork for another TCG that was, I think, a Game of Thrones TCG that was out a few years ago. I don't think it really stuck, but he's actually done artwork for Magic, and I think that's why this art looks and works so well with these MTG cards. I think they look perfect. Like I think they could legitimately be MTG cards, but I went ahead and made these guys. I for all of these, I try to make my own symbol here, my set symbol. It's just the Targaryen set sigil. I made every flavor text on any of these cards. It was all made by me. Most of them are quotes from the books or the show. Um, and yeah, I spent a lot of time, man. Like I was obsessed with this when I was making this. Every day after work, I'd come home and do this for an hour or two, and it was really fun. It's very it's gonna be very rewarding once I get the deck into my hands, which I'll make a whole video on that once I get them all. Um, let's go over some more dragons. So we have Balerion, we have Vagar, and then we have Craxes. These guys are all three very, very famous dragons. Balerion is actually the dragon that Aegon rode on his original conquest. So this isn't the greatest MTG card, like the greatest MTG dragon, but I thought it was kind of perfect because when it enters, you become the monarch. And this dragon made the Targaryens the king. It made Aegon the king, in the so far back. So I thought that was perfect. I thought that was sweet. I tried to stick with flavor here, for the most part. So Balerion the Black Dread is the Skyline Depot. Um, he's a 5/5 flying, and like I said, when he enters, he becomes a monarch. And then at the beginning of the upkeep, if you're the monarch, create a 5/5 dragon. That's not. I mean, obviously it's very good, but it's not like super cool. It's just E2B, get the monarch. You are the king now. The Targaryen's the king. It's pretty flavorful in my opinion. But Caraxes, this is Daemon Targaryen, and his dragon. If you have watched the House of the Dragon spinoff, I didn't have a big reason for Twin Flame Tyrant, but I thought it was cool because these two are so, they go one and one. There are no like twin dragons in Game of Thrones. There are no like two-headed dragons or whatever, but like Twin Flame is. But I thought these two were a good flavor for being a Twin Flame Tyrant. And then you have Vagar, which is just a massive dragon. And the only flavor I really had for this is when you see Vagar in the sky, you're getting extra allies. Like there will be dragons coming to your aid. Um, it happens in the show, or sorry, it happens in the book. So spoiler alert. There will be some dragons that are going against Vagar that will actually flip sides and join Vagar. Um, but he is Utvar Hellkite, and he creates dragons when he attacks. So, or when any dragon attacks. So that's where the flavor comes from. That again, some of this flavor is kind of reaching, but I enjoyed doing it, and the art is so sick on all of these. So yeah, the next slide here is going to be significant characters in the show or the books. We have Lord Varys, the delighted half man, and then Littlefinger, the master schemer. He's Mangara, the diplomat. I just went with Littlefinger because he is like the ultimate diplomat. He's more of a schemer, but a diplomat is, hand in hand with that, especially in this universe. You have Lord Varys, which I love this art. Most of this art I actually got from Wiki, like of Ice and Fire, which is a lot of stuff, artwork based on the books. This one's also or obviously from the show, but like I just love this. I thought it was perfect. He is Seedborn Muse. I thought that like it worked pretty well because he's always working. He always has people working for him, and every turn, Seedborn Muse is untapping your permanents, putting those permanents back to work, whether it's your lands, your creatures, or whatnot. And then Delighted Halfman's perfect for Delighted Halfling. I thought that was really sweet. Really good artwork here by my buddy. He did a really good job. I had my friend make a few cards for this commander deck, and this was one of them, and I thought it was fantastic. And his flavor text is beautiful. I love it. What unites people? Armies, gold, flags, no stories. There's nothing in the world more powerful than a good story. Nothing can stop it. No enemy can defeat it. So I thought it worked perfectly for him. The only negative I see in these cards is that they're not legends, which if they ever did do Universes Beyond, I obviously these two characters are going to be legendary creatures, but um, I wanted cards that would actually work well in the deck too, because if I made a deck with just, you know, the utmost flavor, I'm not going to play it as much, as it would if it was good, synergistic, deck that could play. So let's go over the last three cards I had made for, not the last three I made for the deck, but last three I made for this video. These are support pieces. We have Heroic Intervention, which is Ghost saving John, which I thought it was perfect. He saves John, and all the wolves really saved their counterparts a lot within the show and the book. So this is Heroic Intervention. Classic card. Permanency control, gain hexproof and indestructible. And there was sweet flavor text there for this too. I really try to kill it with this flavor text, but it says Ghost was the only protection John needed. The direwolf could sniff out foes, even those who hid their enmity behind smiles, thought John. Perfect. And it's straight out of the book. And then Greater Gargadon. Sorry, I'm struggling with spelling these words or saying these words, but this card's really sweet, and I never heard of this card until I built this deck, but um, he's just a 9/7 beast that sacrifices our eggs, which is what we're really wanting to do. But sacrifices creatures, artifacts, or lands if it's in suspend. Um, and I thought it was perfect for the mountain. He's just a big 9/7 massive beast in the show and the book and everything else. But this card, the MTG card, is you pay a red and you suspend it with 10 time counters. So you pay one and you put it into exile, and it's just a sack outlet, which is perfect. It's what we need for our eggs. But um, otherwise, if you just pull him out of Atla Palani, he's a 9/7 beast. So finally, the last thing, we have the Iron Throne, which is the roaming throne. And he's just a classic card, and I thought the art was absolutely sick, and I thought it worked perfectly with the throne flavor. Um, that's all I got, guys. Let me know if you like the deck. Let me know if you want to see more. I will be making a full deck tech when it's on my, in my hands. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all those fun YouTube things. Um, the last thing I wanted to say was, if this audio is terrible, I'm sorry. This is the first time I've made a video like this where it's not actually recording the deck in my hands. But so let me know if it's terrible, if it's all right, if I need to invest in some other equipment or whatever. But I had a lot of fun making this deck, and if you enjoyed, please show your support, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you think the Game of Thrones books or the Song of Ice and Fire books are ever going to get made. And with that being said, peace, guys. Have a great weekend.